You are watching the Jermell Charlo workout here in Houston. Jermell from right here, the native son of Houston, Texas, hitting the heavy bag, the undisputed super welterweight champion of the world, matches up against Canelo Alvarez on Saturday, September 30th on Showtime pay-per-view. It is Canelo and Charlo for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. Jermell Charlo looking to become the second man to be undisputed champion in two weight divisions. He is looking to further his legacy against Canelo Alvarez, and make no mistake about it, Jermell Charlo is locked in with his head trainer, Derek James, the trainer of the year last year. Also, Juan Guzman, former world champion, looking on as well. So we will allow you to continue to check out the Jermell Charlo workout. I will have a breakdown with the WWE Hall of Famer Booker T in a few moments, as Booker from right here in Houston, having been all over the world as a WWE Hall of Famer and also former WCW heavyweight champion of the world. And Booker, you know, I mentioned the fact that you were former WCW heavyweight champion of the world. You know what it's like to put championship gold around your waist. You know, with that, it comes a certain level of distinction, of pride. People look at you differently. How do you handle that?
As far as fans go,
like with Jermell Charlo, like how do you think he's handling it? Like how you handle it?
Well, I think you can't read your own press clippings. You can't look at yourself in the mirror and wink at yourself and think that you are actually that guy, because there's so much more work still yet to be put in it. When you're not working, somebody else is. And if you think you can rest on your laurels for one moment, that's when everything is going to go away. So I think just being humble, staying in that place to where it's not about me, it's about getting the job done day in and day out. Literally having that mentality where it's no days off. That's the only way you can stay at the top. It's really hard to deal with other people's expectations. You can only deal with yours. I mean, Jermell, he's won, of course, but he's lost also. He knows what it feels like to actually lose. So in a fight like this, he knows, how important it is. He knows exactly what's on the line. He knows that a fight like this is a life-changing moment. Once it happens, it's going to be over, and it perhaps may never happen again. That's the only thing that can really keep you locked in and dialed in to make that walk down that aisle, to face that man across from you. Because one thing you got to understand.
Best I've ever seen Jermell Charlo mentally, physically, spiritually. Yeah. Is that fair to say?
No, it seems like a light shining bright down on him right now. He's in the perfect place heading into this fight against Canelo Alvarez. He seems to be high-spirited. He seems to be happy, as well as seems to be focused more so than anything.
If there was a movie character that I could say has come to life, Jermell Charlo gives me Clubber Lang vibes from Rocky III, when he beat Rocky for the first time, the only time. But that's what I gather out of Jermell Charlo: the ferocity, the intensity. I mean, just look at what he's doing right now, just to that pad.
You know what? I got to disagree with you. He reminds me of the Michael B. Jordan character, a kid that's willing to go out there and go through all of the trenches and do whatever he has to do to get that W. And look at him right now, the way he's throwing those shots. They look crisp, they look precise, they look definitely punishing. And on the 30th, I can only imagine what it's going to feel like being in the ring with this young man.
Well, you know this, being an elite level athlete and going all over the world in what you've done and headlining massive events. What you want is an opportunity Jermell Charlo is already a made man, super welterweight champion of the world, undisputed. Now he's looking to do it twice, 2 weight classes above. What does that signify for him as he inches closer to that date, September 30th, against Canelo?
You know, think about the fights and previous, the Tony Harrison, the Lubins, the Castaños, all those fights were big fights. But this one right here on the bright lights, it doesn't get any bigger than this. This is a history-making moment for Charlo, and the thing is, those moments, you only get them one time, perhaps, and you never get them again. So this is the biggest night of this young man's career. He has to cash in.
When you're in an arena, now, we know T-Mobile Arena is going to be sold out. Limited tickets are available at AXS.com, presented by Premier Boxing Champions, promoted by TGB Promotions and Canelo Promotions. But when you're making that walk from the locker room to the ring, now my first question to you, do you hear the roar of the crowd as you're getting ready to make your entrance?
You know, I remember my first WrestleMania, and I remember being in the gorilla position, that's the go position, and I got ready to walk out the curtain, and I remember the Undertaker, he looked at me and he goes, "Hey, Book, make sure you stop and take it all in." And if he wouldn't have told me that, I wouldn't have done that. I probably would have had tunnel vision and walked right to the ring. But I stepped out on that stage and I looked around, and it was more than 70,000 people, and I was like, only preparation is the only luck he's ever going to have in a fight like this. And Derek James has to be that X factor as far as getting him to that point.
What I like about Jermell Charlo, among a litany of things, is his punching power,
yes.
How he's so judicious, and he has terrific technique. He is the epitome to me of a boxer puncher. But he's faced adversity in his career. I go back to those fights that you pointed out. You know, the fact that that fight against Harrison in which he lost, comes back, knocks him out, finishes him off, has retribution. Then in the first fight with Castaño, his back was against the wall, and Derek James told him, "You need these last few rounds," and he went out and did it.
Exactly.
So he has proven time and time again to be able, when he's faced with adversity, to overcome it.
No, it's going to go back to those fights, having that adversity, having to be able to overcome, being in those positions, knowing what it's like being in those positions, not coming into that fight at a low. And like I say, this fight is against Canelo Alvarez, the guy is, 59-2. He's only, lost to 2 of the best fighters in the world, Floyd Mayweather being one of them when he was a kid.
Yeah.
He's a grown man now, so of course Canelo Alvarez is going to have a game plan as well. So both of these guys, I cannot wait to see the chess match. It's going to be a chess match as far as who walk out. But you talk about those 2 fights. You talk about how Charlo came into those fight 2s with a total different purpose as far as being patient, but being a guy that was seek and destroy at the same time. Let me land this big shot and let me get up out of here and hit the club in H-Town. That's what it was all about.
Well, speaking of H-Town, can you imagine if Jermell Charlo defeats Canelo Alvarez and becomes undisputed super middleweight champion of the world? I can only imagine. You know what it's like to have big moments here in Houston.
Yeah.
The homecoming Jermell Charlo is going to have here in Houston.
Let me tell you, I got the key to the city here in Houston, and trust me, Jermell Charlo goes out and wins this fight. It's going to be a big parade for him downtown. The confetti is going to be all over the place. The mayor is going to have a huge cleanup bill because it's going to be a party like 1999.
Where would you like, if he's able to do this on September 30th, if he were to have a homecoming fight? I think he could go out and the Texans play NRG. I think he could sell that place out. You do a football stadium, if he were to pull off this win against Canelo Alvarez.
Of course, we can do NRG, we can do Minnesota, all the big. It's going to have to be a huge arena because, trust me, when the Charlos come out and do their thing, Houston is going to come out and support in the biggest way. And after a fight like this, like I say, the parade is going to be huge. And I'm going to tell you, I'm predicting it. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be a knockout. It's going to be a unanimous decision, 12 rounds. My man. Wait a minute. It's going to be a knockout.
You're saying it's going to be a knockout. You're saying Jermell Charlo knocks out Canelo Alvarez.
It's going to be a huge knockout.